willing to take this pay cut. As we saw today, that was not the case. Jerry Skeletor Jones literally took his dear sweet time having this meeting with Dez Bryant. A lot of people are asking what took so damn long. This meeting should have been held really before free agency. No. That was a smart move to do. They did really a shrewd move by the Dallas Cowboys, but very, very businesslike. They waited until after free agency and 2 weeks before the NFL draft to release them. Why would you do that? Because you have all the leverage. They backed Dez Bryant into a corner, letting you know, hey, teams have 2 weeks before free agency starts, before the NFL draft starts. They are not thinking about signing a top-notch wide receiver right now. No team in their right mind is kicking out a lot of money 2 weeks before the draft. They already have their draft board in place. They know what they want. Then after that, that's when you go on the back end and you sign these veterans right before training camp. Now, Dez might have a little bit of a market. The first place I thought of was New England off the bat. Think he'd be perfect down there because Dez can only run 3 routes, which is perfectly fine with Tom Brady because he has this other plethora of receivers that can run the entire route tree. And yes, I said it. Dez can only run 3 routes. And he's not the brightest skittle in the pack. Let's just say that. And I mean, if you don't know, look at his tweets that he sent out today. So those who are not familiar with the situation, obviously they went and tried to talk to him today after they put him in a box. Because I know the Dallas Cowboys were thinking, since it's 2 weeks away from the draft, either you will take this pay cut or get cut. That's pretty much the only 2 options that they gave Dez. Dez came to the room with his agent, with his ego, and decided not to do so. Now, Dallas Cowboy fans, I know you remember this. Our biggest free agent signing in the last few years has been Brandon Carr. Didn't quite live up to the contract. But Brandon Carr, for the sake of the team, took a pay cut to free up salary cap. And because he wasn't playing up to his expectations. The way that Jerry Jones loves Dez Bryant, I guarantee what he told Dez was, I need you to reduce your salary, but this will be incentive-laced. You will earn every single penny back. I guarantee he told Dez that. But Dez, like Derrick Rose, is retarded. The guys, don't come at me. I know retarded is a very harsh word to use, but it is what it is. The boy's not the brightest. Didn't he hit his mama with some socks? Something like that? Beat her up with a hat? Who beats up their mother with a hat? Dez Bryant does. Who gets in trouble at the mall? Dez Bryant. Who had to have Deion Sanders, Michael Irvin, and a plethora of other Dallas Cowboys sit in a room with him and babysit him for like 2 years to make sure he can be acclimated to the NFL? Dez Bryant. You're right, Ben. Slow. I'm sorry. He's a little slow. Now, so they went in the room. They talked to Dez. Dez and his ego rejected the contract. So Dallas, being a smart business team, was like, all right, you definitely not coming back at $16 million. We're just going to slice your ass. And that's what happened. They cut him. Now, back to the Dallas Cowboy fans that's starting to piss me off. A lot of people are sad I see so many comments like, oh, they're going to regret this. Regret what? He had 600 yards receiving last year. 600. Jason Witten had just as many and more touchdowns. Jason Witten, who runs like an 8.7 in the 40s, had more receiving yards and touchdowns than Dez Bryant. Dallas Cowboy fans. Let that sit for a minute. I'm going to tell you exactly what Dallas was looking at. They was looking at the last 3 years, and they was looking at that big $16 million hit. Now, 2017, he had 838 yards. I probably over-exaggerated. He had more than Jason Witten. 2016, he had 796 yards. 2015, he only had 401 yards. That is 3 straight seasons under 1,000 yards. Scratch that. That's 3 straight seasons under 900 receiving yards. 6 touchdowns last year. 8 touchdowns from the year before. And I got a quote up here from Clutch Talk. Here's what Dez Bryant said to James Slater of NFL Network. The situation was very unfair to me. Added that former teammates he called Garrett guys worked against him. I truly believe that. I want them to know that I know. I shoot them a text message and let them know. That's exactly what the hell I'm talking about. What are you talking about, Des? Then he also sent out a tweet that just blew my mind. He said, if I didn't have my edge, I got it now. I'm sorry they got to feel me. It's personal. It's very personal. You got your edge now after you got cut. Oh, you got it now. But you didn't have that shit on the field, did you? When you was trotting out there with freaking 838 yards making $16 million a year. What was the edge at then, Dez? With your 6 touchdown having self. Oh, but now you got your edge. Another thing that pissed me off by Dez Bryant. He said that the media got to him, which affected his play. Really? Really? Who are you talking about? Skip Bayless and Chris Carter? You let Skip Bayless, the same man who thinks that LeBron James is the worst basketball player who ever walked the planet Earth, get to you where it affected you on the field. Well, if I was Jason Garrett or a quote-unquote Garrett guy, I wouldn't want you on the damn team because you're not focused. And when you're not focused, what happened? You produce 6 touchdowns in a single season. Now, the 400-yard season, I think it was a little banged up. It is what it is. Now, another factor, not to, keep harping on Dez. Dak Prescott has to deliver the ball in his receiver's hands. Yeah, I said it. I looked at a ton of film with him and Dez Bryant. Balls were overthrown. When he threw the balls, they were at his feet. Tony Romo used to throw Dez open. And he used to throw it up because he was one of the best at 50-50 balls. Keyword was. With all those injuries mounting up, foot injuries, ankle injuries, that takes a toll on your body. Over time, you get slower. His main attribute was physicality. He wasn't separating. Physicality is gone. That's when skill comes into play. That's when knowing the route tree comes into play. That's when having great hands come into play. Once again, Dallas Cowboy fans, Dez was, if not the leader, in the top 5 of drop balls in the NFL last season. I saw more of Dez showing off Jordans than he was at practice. That's a damn shame if I go up to my star $16 million wide receiver and I ask him, hey, bro, which Retro 4s came out yesterday? And he know that. But then I asked him about what type of damn 4-3 defense they run in, but he don't know that. And that's the wide receiver we had, guys. Ain't no need to sugarcoat it. Dez got his money, and he clocked out. On the cover of Rolling Stone, signed with Rock Nation, signed to Team Jordan. Dez was all about Instagram, throwing up the X. But he wouldn't focus on perfecting his craft. And when your physicality leaves you, you have to be crafty. Dez wasn't focused on his craft, and the Dallas Cowboys know that. They've known that for years. But with the deep wide receiving core in the draft, this was the perfect opportunity to let... And the writing was on the wall, guys. Think about this. Do you remember the year that they let T.O. go? What did they say? We need to make a Romo-friendly offense. That's exactly what they said. What did they say this offseason? We need to make a Dak Prescott-friendly offense. Dez was gone. Just like T.O. And on the way out, T.O. said the exact same thing that Dez is saying now. Well, Tony Romo and Jason Witten didn't like me. They were Jason Garrett guys. The exact same thing that Clutch Talk just sent to me, what Dad said on NFL Network. It is what it is. I mean, he's gone now. Which lets me know all I need to know what Dallas is thinking come this draft. They are going wide receiver. If Calvin Ridley is available, Calvin Ridley will be a Dallas Cowboy. My personal opinion, I don't think they're going to go receiver first round. I think they're going to go second round. Look out for Sutton for SMU. That is my pick for a receiver. Why I say that? He's almost the exact same body type as Dez Bryant. They decided to let an older Dez Bryant go to draft a younger Dez Bryant. And another thing, Dallas Cowboy fans, I want you guys to, keep this in mind. And what I used to tell people watching Dallas and see the moves they're making with Zeke, the young secondary, the young quarterback. Dallas is building for the future. That rookie season of Zeke and Dak, you'll probably never see nothing like that again. But I was trying to tell people, do not get your hopes up. This season, they're rookies. We're not going to win it all. That's just reality. But the future is extremely bright. Dallas is going to be extremely young. Stud young linebacker. Stud young defensive backs. Trying to go get a safety in the offseason. Watch out for them to draft a safety. Now you got your stud quarterback, your stud running back. You draft a tight end and a receiver. 3 more years, who's going to stop this team? And I'm not just being a homer, but you got to watch out for these boys in the future. Dallas are coming. It may not be right now because it's a weird mixture that they got up in this team, but it is. They are building a team the correct way. They're going young. Do I expect them to make a run for the Super Bowl this year? I don't think so. But I'm telling you, within the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to see this young team develop, and they're going to be hell. That's what I'm more excited about, the future of the Dallas Cowboys, than the present. Because they